Okay, I need to first apologize for the um, garbage, trashy quality of this recording. I simply don't have the hardware or software to do a high quality recording. How I miss MineVideo. Um, but I wanted to show a little something I built. This was, I suppose, partly inspired by something Etho built in his Let's Play around 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. I've been watching some of the old videos because I didn't see them when they were new. But what he had built was an enchanting room with bookshelves that were raised and lowered by pistons. The thing is, that was back in 1.9 something, beta 1.9 something. And enchanting has changed quite a bit since then. And I started thinking of ways you might be able to do that a little bit better. And fortunately, some of the changes in enchanting do make it possible to do what I really wanted to do, which is to be able to raise and lower any number of bookshelves you want between none and maximum power. So between 0 and 15. Since fortunately you don't need as many now. So the way I do this is digitally. I have this one which raises one bookshelf. And then I have this one which lowers 2. This lowers 4. And this lowers 8. So this way you can get any number of bookshelves you want between none at all and the 15, which is now a fully powered bookshelf or a fully powered enchantment table. So say you want 12, just have the 4 and the 8 on, and there's your 12. Too many? Try 8 and 2 for 10. Or maybe you'd prefer 11 or 9. Or maybe you want a really low enchant, so you don't want any. I'm not going to go through the whole full-scale tutorial where I rebuild the whole thing from scratch, but I am going to show how the wiring works. So, and it looks a little bit complicated in a way. You see things going around in different places, but it's not really that complicated once you actually see where it all goes. So first, the 8. And it turns out the lower numbers were the harder to get wired. So for the 8, that comes out down here. And you can see it just wraps around. Gets those. Goes up to here, so you get all 3 of those and one on the side and the back. And then I put in the repeater to make sure it didn't run out of power. And then it's just basically a mirror image on the other side. And there's your 8 bookshelves. For the 4, it comes out up here, and it simply runs to the middle and it divides and goes across like so. So again, it's fairly simple, just up and across and over to the sides. For the 2, it comes out over here. As you can see, it's almost a mirror image where it comes out. But it goes up here, and it goes across this little hump, this sort of bridge, and wraps around to control these 2 in the back, which lower those 2. And then lastly, for the single bookshelf, this comes out. This was actually the hardest one to get wired because I had to wrap around and accommodate all these that had to be close by. But it just comes down, wraps around down here, and it goes to here to raise one bookshelf. And if this was not a prototype in a creative world built purely to figure it all out, I would have put this in some kind of building, or more likely underground. But as a prototype, it works. So there you go. Digital enchanting room. Any number of bookshelves you want from none to full power.